Come in. Oh, who is? Oh, it's you, audience. Well, come on into my YouTube studio, aka just my office where I work day to day. But I have everything set up to show you how I do an Adam Grasso YouTube video. So here it is. Basically, it might look like a bit of a mess, but everything is here for a reason. So I'm going to walk you through it. I've had multiple sets on my YouTube channel. This one is definitely the most efficient, the best one that I've had so far. And I really like it, and everything has a reason for being here. So I guess let's start with lighting because it's right here. So we have 3 lights here. We have this big aperture dome, which is basically just this massive softbox, which is a light dome Mark II. And then if we go around, we have on the back of it, we have this aperture 300X, which is an amazing bicolor light. It's such a good light. It's so powerful. It's amazing because I can use it for daylight or tungsten if I want to like shoot in different environments. So it's really good. It's my main key light and it's served me well for, I think I've had it for like 2 years now. And I have no reason to upgrade it really because it's that amazing. And then I'll show you this light, Heavenly Glow, which is the Amaran 60X, which basically when I sit on this chair, you'll see when I sit on this chair, it gives like this nice backlight vibe and it makes me look like Christ himself maybe. All these lights are controlled with the Sidus app, which is Aperture / Amaran's own app. And I can very easily just turn them all off. You can't see me at all. And then I can turn them back on. And then if I'm sat here and I want to adjust the settings, you know, I can turn the key off. I can turn the backlight off. And I can also turn this light. Actually, I missed a light. There's one extra light that I forgot to turn on. It's this one here, this bookshelf light back here, because as you can see, if you come over here, we have a normal lamp, which looks great, of course, but it wasn't really bright enough for the set when I first got it. So then I got this little guy, which is the Aperture MC Pro. And I basically like balanced the color. So the color is exactly the same, like 2000 Kelvin. So when I put it here, without it, you get that kind of look. And then with it, you get that look. And it just like the light comes up a bit more and it just gives a nice contrast with the background, having like the orange and then having the normal kind of balanced light on my face. So, and I hide it behind these books. We have the, you know, the Ryan Holidays, the Mark Mansons, all the classics that hide this incredible light that you probably didn't even know has been in my YouTube videos all along. While we're here, I might as well just show you what's going on in the kind of props / art direction that I have for my YouTube videos that's in the background all the time. My Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails, my clapperboard, there's Noob Filmmaker on it to remind me of how much I have to learn still. My Legend of Zelda Link statue that got knocked over once by my cats and now he's got like a bent bow, but whatever, like it was kind of expensive, so I can't afford to buy a new one yet, so please support the channel so I can. And then yeah, my first DaVinci Resolve that I bought, which was DaVinci Resolve 16, with the little card in there with a serial number that I'm not gonna show you because then they'll steal it from me. And then this Undertale flower, if you guys know Undertale, and you can press it and there's a little dance like that. Terrifying. And then yeah, I've got my 2 gimbals here, which is the DJI Mini 3 and we have the Ronin RS2. So they're nice gimbals. I still use them like when I'm doing shoots, but I just felt like they were nice to have on display because they look cool. And then yeah, in the background, these are 2 things you probably don't really see that much. This, I've decided that I'm gonna do an unboxing video when I hit 10,000 subscribers. I think I got it like 2 or 3 years ago as a birthday present from Henriette. Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. So please subscribe and then I could open it and finally display it properly. So yeah, 10K subs, I'll open it and do a Q&A unboxing video. So hopefully that'll happen soon. And light-wise, there's also this one here, which is my fill light, which is a Amaran P60C. This is really just for a fill light on the side of my face. As I'm sat here, as you can see, it just gives a little bit of extra fill on my face. It's not as contrasty essentially. So without, yeah, it makes a pretty big difference. So going on to audio, how do I do the audio for my videos? This is a Rode NTG Video. So this is just gets boomed over with this boom stand right here. And it's pretty good. Like, it's kind of annoying because I always have to put it on minus 20 decibels because it's so sensitive. So I'll probably want to invest in another one, but for the price and everything, like I use it for a lot of my videos with a bit of EQing and a bit of mixing. I can sound pretty good, and I just have it boomed out of shot enough. And then if I'm doing a video where it's a bit more casual, like the vibe is more chill, then I'll use this, which is a Shure SM58. This is normally for videos when I am not really scripting it properly. It's weird that I feel more casual holding this than having no mic. Is that weird? I don't know. I just feel more like blah, 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 blah than if I don't have a mic on me. I don't know, maybe I'm a weirdo. But yeah, I just plug this in via the gear that I have here, which is, yeah, Scarlett Focusrite plugged in with the XLR. And then I just use Ableton to record into. Yeah, so yes, I'm just talking, and then if you can see here on Ableton, we've got levels, and then I'm just chatting away, and I just record directly into Ableton, and then in post I just sync them up together with the actual video. Speaking of audio, I also use this DJI Mic 1, which I've had for quite a while. It's a really good microphone. I don't really use it that much. I'll only really use it for certain videos like this where it makes sense, but most of the time I'm using my shotgun mic. I'm using my Shure SM58 for most of the stuff that I make. This is not a very good transition, but speaking of video stuff, because that's kind of the last thing that we haven't talked about, let's have a look over here. And this is my main camera setup, which is the Sony a7S III. I've had this camera for a few months after it came out. I bought it. This is my main workhorse camera. I use it for all my YouTube videos. I was quite lucky because I was already a freelance filmmaker. So when I started YouTube, I already had like technically the best YouTube camera, which is nice. So I'm quite fortunate with that. And then on it, I have a small HD Indy 7. Again, this is an expensive monitor. Question if I should have paid as much as I did for it, but it's really good. I do find it a lot more comforting to know that I have this big monitor on rather than relying on the tiny screen that the actual camera has. And then, yeah, I just have the mic is plugged in via this little 3.5mm cable that runs to the Rode NTG. And I also use this, which is a little power bank. It's a normal USB-C power bank that I got off Amazon or something. And this helps keep the camera fully charged all the time. And it means I don't have to worry about batteries. And then the piece, well, maybe not the piece de resistance, but as you can see, big ass prompter here, big ass teleprompter. Not all my videos are script, but the ones that are. I use a teleprompter. If you want to watch my teleprompter video, check the card up there because I review it and explain why I really like it. And yeah, this just helps make YouTube video making a lot less stressful, a lot easier, especially when the video is like quite technical and I want to script it word for word just to make sure you guys get as much info as possible about what I'm trying to say. And I don't waste your time, which is really important. Oh, well, I should talk about this stand if you're curious. So yeah, I have this boomed over on this Manfrotto stand. We have a massive sandbag here to stop it from collapsing. And yeah, this just gets boomed over the Amran 60X, sorry. So it's out of shot, out of mind, and I can boom it over. And this is of course a nighttime setup, but you might have been tricked because it's not even nighttime now because it's actually daytime. Look at this, incredible. The magic of blinds when we open up this bad boy. So bright. The middle of the day in Budapest, it's so warm. It's like 20, what is it, like 20 something degrees? It's warm. So yeah, basically everything is almost the same, except we don't need this light. So we turn it off and we put it over here. Because as you can see, when I sit down now, we don't need anything. It's so bright already, the fill light, because of all the light that's bouncing around, we don't need to have this extra fill light. But everything else is the same. Like I use the mic the same. If I'm using the shotgun, I'll use that the same. Normally on my laptop, if I'm not recording audio, I'll have my Notion script on there. And then I'm basically like modifying the Notion script on the prompter if I need to like change something because I didn't like when I'm reading it on the prompter, it doesn't look quite right. But other than that, everything is the same. Sometimes I'll normally keep these blinds. Would you call them blinds? No, not the shot. Yeah, I guess they're blinds. The white blind thing used to diffuse the light. Curtains. I can't remember English words today. Not like I was born and raised in England. So yeah, I use them quite a lot just to kind of diffuse the light in and make it a bit softer if the sunlight is like blasting in. And sometimes I'll even like bring the shutters, move out of the way, like get out of the way. Sometimes I'll even like bring the shutters half down just to stop the light streaming in if it's really high, just so I still get daylight, but then I don't get like blinded by the light, even though I'm turning away from it, so I don't know how I would get blinded. But that is pretty much my setup. I know all this stuff is kind of expensive. I've literally been investing in like camera gear, and I was doing it as a job as soon as I left uni. So this is 10 years worth of investing slowly but surely to have a YouTube setup that makes sense. Is there anything that I would improve? I'd maybe get a better shotgun mic at one point. This is decent, but I think an XLR mic of some kind would be nice. It would be nice to have my A7S III as an FX3 maybe, but it's the same camera. I just want that XLR thing. But other than that, I'm really happy with it. Also, actually, I just remembered my standing desk. So yeah, my standing desk, you've probably seen a lot of videos where I am stood up, yapping away to the camera. The way that I do that is either I'm sat at a desk or I am stood like this. So this is just an IKEA standing desk. And then I have my Shure, I'll put the name on the screen, I forgot the name. It's not the super fancy Shure mic. And then I basically just have this here, and then the camera is usually next to the desk, and then I'm just talking, hey, here's DaVinci Resolve, download it now. Why are you using Premiere Pro, you silly boy? And that's my desk setup, essentially. And those are pretty much my setups. Like, I've got my sitting setup, my casual setup with this mic, I've got my sat down setup, or my stood up setup. And that's basically what I do in this office room in general. So this is my YouTube studio. I didn't really even want to make this video because I sometimes hate making gear videos because I'm like, look at all this gear I have, look at all this, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it inspires you. Honestly, a lot of this stuff you could probably find cheaper versions of. I'll leave some links in the description. If you can afford like the nice aperture lights, go for them, because it's better to invest in something that will last you a long time and will hold its value than something cheaper from Amazon, like a knockoff thing. So if you can afford it, great. If you can't, obviously just try and get what you can. But yeah, I think when I first started, I only had this aperture light here, the dome light. I didn't even have any fill light. I didn't have any backlight when I first started out doing YouTube. And then slowly I built up. So if you want to start putting stuff out online, just get what I would recommend out of all of these lights. If you want to get one light, get this. Get a nice dome light that is powerful and just have that, and just let natural light do the rest. You don't need a backlight. It's totally extra. Just makes it look a bit nicer, and you don't really need a fill light. So grab a nice big softbox dome as your first light. Again, camera-wise, you don't need this camera. This is goddamn expensive. All you really need is like a cheap Sony, maybe like you probably get like an A7C, or what is I always forget the name, like an A6500 or one of the older Sony cameras. I'll put some recommendations down below of the ones that I think you should get if you're just starting out. Because yeah, this is kind of overkill if you're just starting, especially if you're not like a camera nerd like I am. I'm like a massive camera nerd for all this stuff. Oh yeah, this lens is a Sigma 24-70mm. I didn't talk about the lens at all for people who are interested in lenses. I couldn't afford the Sony one, it was too expensive, so I just bought this one because it was cheaper and just as good. Definitely finishing the video now. Hopefully this gave you some ideas about how you could potentially make your YouTube studio better. And with time and saving a bit of money, you'll be able to invest in the gear that you want to buy. If you're really scared about talking in front of a camera, and there's a skill that you tried talking in front of the camera and you can't do it, you should click on this video over here, because I have a whole explanation of my essential tips for how to actually speak better in front of the camera and get confidence and not see it as this terrifying thing because you can't do it and you're gonna sound weird. No, there's tips to get better at it, and I help you with those in this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.